Hello, welcome back to another game on Arena 1v1 between Stefan and Feanor, a Meso civilization war, Incas against Mayans. Should be interesting here, I hope so at least. This is the first game I'm casting in May. It's still from April, it was played in late April. Can see it, 2k2 plus, 2k3 plus, so roughly in a 2k3 level, a 1v1 between two very well-known players in Arena. Feanor has become really strong here. He's quite gone high on the elo on the 1v1, and I'm really looking forward to this game because I'm hoping it's going to be an interesting one. Civilization-wise, Incas against Mayans on Arena. Like, traditionally, I think Mayans should be stronger, but Incas have proven to be a really good civilization, so we're going to find out how this game is going to end here. And let's start with the maps. I guess start with Stefan, who is in blue as the Incas, with the second gold safe in the back. Not sure what kind of map this is. Is it the Wobbly Arena seasonal map, maybe? It looks like a little bit spring theme could be included here. Main gold and main stone forward. Boar inside, 4 deer inside, which is nice. The third gold on the left hand side is outside. Second stone is on the right hand side, in the top right corner, outside as well. So this might be an interesting, would have been an interesting idea to trash here. But against the Incas, you don't really want to trash with the Mayans. Let's see how the game is actually proceeding. I think we're going to see standard feudal and castle age times. We have one really close to Stefan, another really close on the left. This one in the neutral zone, extra stone here, extra gold as well on the left hand side. One extra gold and 2 more relics here. This one a little bit closer to Feanor, but quite far away from his base still. So we have all the extra resources in the middle of the map, and for Feanor we have the main gold forward as well, but the second gold safe in the back, we're inside, main stone safe in the back, deer inside, and that's the third gold and an extra stone as well. Is that 2 extra stones? Wait, yes, apparently there's one here and one over there. So Mayans with extra stone, that's 8 tiles of stone in the back, that's at least 4 castles. So we have Feanor with the Mayans, who should be able to get a castle out if it really wants to. We might see cameos here, I hope so. We might see Obsidian or Arbalest, would also be fun, but standard is Eagle Warriors and Plumed Archers, obviously. Let's find out what players are going to do here. 25 population could give us an idea what the players are going to do. We see a mining camp coming up for Feanor on stone, so this looks like a castle to me in, I guess, early castle age even. We might see at least a second TC for the Mayans. I think for Incas we're going to see 3 TCs. Sending 2 more villagers to wood. Has 2 villagers on gold only. That's not a lot. He did do loom, so he has to send a 3rd villager. There it is. 4 plus 4 on wood, 4 on berries, and 3, 4 on stone. Pretty much the standard build order, I guess. Has lured the deer in, and now he's starting to scout. And you can see Stefan has the main gold forward, and I think you could also see the villagers. Maybe didn't pay attention. Cannot see the lumber camp as far as I know. So he doesn't know that Stefan is actually taking gold here, but he knows that the main gold is located forward, and that means good and nice potential to attack here, go for an aggressive game. We have Feanor coming up with the horse collar, Stefan already going up to castle age. He's a little bit faster. 27 population for him. Feanor I think on 28, 29 then. It's, sorry, 27 villagers, 28 pop against 29. And the time difference actually more than 37 seconds, which should only be 25. So maybe not ideal, but with the Mayans you lose a little bit of time at the start, because usually players don't check if they have Mayans or Chinese and just start to queue villagers. And it costs a little bit of time to cancel loom, go for villager here. We have seen players who didn't do loom. I guess it can give them a little bit of a time edge, but you need to be careful, I guess. So standard loom and then go for fast castle. Stefan is going to be there first. What are we going to see? 200 stone, which means, I guess, an extra TC immediately. Yeah, that's coming up here, 85 stone to build a TC on the wood line and that second gold in the back, which is a really nice TC spot. Third TC also coming up on the wood line here. Monastery is coming up, and 5 villagers on gold. The barracks is up, which means we're going to see a few Eagle Scouts here. We have 1, 2, 3 against 1 at this point in the game. Now for Feanor, the castle is coming up in front of the main goal, which I like to see. Monastery up, monk production starting immediately, and there's still enough stone for a second and potentially third TC soon. I guess the second TC should be enough at the start. This is nice, you can fit at least 1 farm around. Once you cut those trees it's 2, and a few more farms here. It's close to the wood, to the gold, and you have enough space around. That's for TC like you want to see it. And there's the first plumed archers on the way. No fletching yet, but I don't really need fletching at this time. You'll need a few plumed archers, and then you can decide, depending on what your opponent is going to do, how many eagles are we going to see. But fletching coming in immediately actually. defensively, so it looks like Feanor wants to go aggressive anyway. Still, second TC up and running soon. There it is. And third TC potentially coming up as well. Actually, it's already on the way. 5 villagers still on stone. It's not going to be easy to keep villager production going, but 20 minutes in, I think Feanor has done a good job here. And he might have a little bit of idle time on those TCs, which is pretty much what I expected to see, unless you're buying food. And we might see that later on. How's the relic count looking? We have one castle for Feanor, no relic in, and 2 relics already in for Stefan. Stupid monk. Did he lose a monk maybe? Didn't see it. I guess this one. Potentially, and now it looks like, oh, we lost a monk here, makes a lot of sense. There is Feanor grabbing that relic and the plumed archers with fletching, make sure those eagle scouts are not really going close. Villager-wise, Stefan is ahead, 60 against 47, he went for TCs a lot earlier, so he should be ahead, and Stefan, we know, has a really good macro. Wheelbarrow coming in for both players almost at the same time, and now there's 2 more relics left on the top of the map, which looks like Feanor should be able to grab them. Stefan is not anywhere close. I think Stefan has given up on the idea to go for the relics now. He's got 2 of them in, so it will be fine here. And looks like Feanor might go for a forward castle even. 550 stone in the bank, and he will have the 650 stone that he needs quite early on. But the problem is forward castle might run into a fast Imperial Age, and I think Stefan doing handcart, gold mining and heavy plow is going to have the better imp time. A lot of gold in the bank here. Siege Workshop is up, Mangonel on 2 scorpions actually on the way to make sure those plumed archers can do a lot of damage. Just the scorpions, and going down, no, not so fast. The village even repairing, she's going to die, but there's 2 plumed archers also going down. And that means Stefan is able to defend his stone, go for a castle even, and sorry for that. My voice is... I was sick for a little bit. My voice is still not on top, so I might have to take a little bit break from time to time. Castle should be going up on that main gold. Looks like Stefan. Did he buy his way up? I don't think so. I think he has the food Inca. He's got enough resources to click up. He's got the 2 Imperial Age police, but not finally clicking up to Imperial Age. And Feanor not far behind with 1 castle up, a second castle coming up forward as expected, covering that second stone. Does Feanor know about his extra resource in the back? Yes, you can see all of that. And with 2 against 1 castle and only a few seconds behind, I think this might be tough for Stefan. Stefan is still on stone, but only 5 villagers. Second stone is out of reach, and I don't really like that mining camp, but okay. Villagers going to fight that wolf, yeah, not a big problem. And we have that gate getting attacked from the castle. We have Stefan waiting for him. Is he preparing barracks? There is the Eagle Warrior upgrade done, chainmail armor on the way. A lot of resources in the bank. Stefan looking good here when it comes to resources that he banked to go for Elite Eagle Warrior upgrade, and potentially, is it called Couriers immediately? Not sure if he can afford it, but with 3, 4 castles, and 3 or 4 barracks, going for archer ranges now. He needs a few more, and the archer ranges is the idea here. We have the first trebuchet on the way. Castle number 3 coming up for Feanor. Feanor buying... What's happening here? Brace on the way. Lead Eagle War is soon to be done. Blade Mill Armor also coming up. There is the first trap on the way. Is there a trebuchet coming up from that castle in the back here? Yes, actually it does. And Feanor only 77 villagers against 108, but Mayans don't really need a big economy to do damage here. And there's a lot of plumed archers on the field already. 2 mangonels to stop a ram push. And while Stefan is starting to hit that castle from Feanor, and Feanor going to repair, he's got 2 against 1 traps for now. More traps on the way, 2 against 2. Is that another trap coming out? It's 3 plus 1 on the way from behind, I guess, at least. Where is that one, actually? Is it going to the left-hand side? No, Universe coming up forward. A few outposts by both players, actually. And the Mangonel is going to die. Stefan is not allowed to take this gold, at least not for free, at least not with a fight. Those Eagle Warriors are almost on full upgrades defensively. Couriers on the way. And we have plumed archers and not elite. And I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Stefan starting to lose castles and also lose trebuchets soon, I guess. While Feanor is saying, oh, there's Eagle Warriors, so elite Eagles, so I should try to wall my traps in, which he's not able to do. That gate is not getting started, and still the elite Eagle Warriors are going down fast. Couriers almost done. Is it done? Wait, did it not do more pierce armor? Am I wrong here? Slingers on the field, but doesn't really help a lot. There's a lot of plumed archers. The elite Eagle Warriors is the idea to have, and I guess the Couriers upgrade got denied, got cancelled when the castle was down. I didn't even see it. But Stefan does not have a second castle. A lot of resources in the bank, as you can see, but is not able to produce enough. And I think he might even need to switch into elite skirmishers for some time. Blast Furnace coming up here. Needs a second castle. castle, which he won't get up easily. And there's a good amount of plumed archers, not elite yet. Look at Stefan's resources. This is something we're not used to see. He needs more barracks, he needs more army, but he's only on 15 against 34 military units. And he's only sending in single groups. That's something we don't usually see from him. Siege workshops up, 1, 2, a third one on the way, and ram production starting, cap ram done, siege ram on the way, thumbering chemistry now, archer armor, and even the boatkin arrow. Slingers, but I think really it's the elite skirmishers that I need right now. We have Feanor losing one of the castles here, the second castle is still up, and he's still got a castle at home. On the left hand side, that house is getting attacked, but nothing major happening, and the siege ram is moving forward. This is actually looking good for Stefan now, even though he has very few soldiers only those few elite eagle warriors. The siege rams are actually doing the trick here. Feanor doing thumb ring now. Elite skirmishers actually in the way. What is Feanor going to do now? That's an interesting question. He's got a lot of gold in the bank, he's got enough stone for yet another castle. He's taking the extra stone in the back. Has 4 TCs up and running, castle coming up at home. Few houses because he lost so many castles here. And what's the army idea now? Elite plumes coming up, but I'm not sure. Maybe he should go elite eagle warriors himself, or siege rams would be nice too. Onagers even possible, but yeah, onagers maybe against elite skirmishers. That's maybe not the worst idea ever. We have ring archer on the way from Stefan. This looks like a pretty open game for now. 1k score difference, but it's not too much. And military numbers pretty much the same. Stefan, of course, had the better boom, has more. Those villagers still is starting to re-wall his base, and is taking the second stone as well. This is very important for him if he wants to get castles up, or maybe even towers, which would be fun. Then you need that stone. We see Feanor moving out now, doing a few barracks. We're going to see Eagle Warriors, so it's going to be Elite Eagle Warriors and Elite Plumed Archers, fully upgraded. Elite Plumed Archers for now. The Siege Rams moving forward, and the villagers have to help out now. That castle is losing a lot of HP actually, and fast. Look at this. The Siege Rams finally dying. There's more Siege Rams on the way. There's a few Elite Eagle Warriors inside those Siege Rams. Castle getting repaired here. Stefan, a lot of resources, and is moving forward with the Elite Skirmishers now. Looking good for him. Feanor has a good amount of gold in the bank, but not too much food or wood. He still needs to go for more army as well now. He's 14 behind, it's not too much. Those Eagle Warriors are not elite yet, and he's lacking a little bit of food to go for the Eagle Warriors. Finally producing elite Plumed Archers again. I like this castle in the back, to be honest. It allows him to go for a safe army numbers here. He won't lose that castle too fast. Elite Eagle Warrior on the way. How many barracks do we see? Quite a few actually now. Town Center coming up on the extra gold. Stefan is going really far forward now. Spending his economy to the extra resources makes a lot of sense. Sending in more siege rams. Elite skirmishers still around. And you can see the military numbers looking good for both players now. No trash for Feanor yet. He is spending a lot of gold now on those Elite Eagle Warriors. 100 HP done, plus 4 defense on the way. Stefan doing heavy scorpions. And we might see slingers now against the Eagle Warriors. Makes a lot of sense here. Few of those slingers already in the mix. They have a really good bonus damage, but now the Elite Plumed Archers even moving forward. Not enough Elite Skirmishers. The Elite Eagle Warriors don't have a big counter here, and there is the 2 heavy Scorpions, but it's 2 only. That's not going to do a lot. So Feanor is fighting back here and is winning back map control. Should start to take that TC soon, maybe with the Mangonels. Should even go for that other TC and the other gold as well. But for now, he's just trying to keep the map control to his own, and he is sending in more units now, doing a lot of upgrades here. Arson 2 men are coming up, propagation, iron casting, important upgrades for the Elite Eagle Warriors as well as the economy. Sending 4 villagers forward now. I think he wants to go for those. Oh yeah, nice castle coming up here. Could get denied. I don't think so. There's Elite Eagle Warriors around. Now Feanor, full map control back, and he's waiting in the middle with the Elite Plumed Archers to find that Stefan is adding in a lot of heavy scorpions actually. 16 plus 1, 7 plus 1, that means siege engineers should be done. Couriers finally coming in again for Stefan, making his, wait, the slinger stronger as well? I think so, plus 6 defense, and of course the Elite Eagle Warriors as well. But the TC is going down. Stefan is losing that extra gold here, lost the extra gold on the left hand side as well. But now we're gonna see heavy scorpions fighting Elite Plumed Archers at this point. Few siege rams in the mix. Nice shot with the Mangonel, but the Elite Skirmishers still around. And those heavy scorpions are actually moving forward. That's looking dangerous here. What can you do against this? This could be difficult for Feanor. What he can do is what Feanor is immediately doing. He's going for orange upgrade. Resources still looking good. Is adding in siege workshops. Has 3 trebuchets to try and get rid of those castles maybe. And Stefan again is pushing back from home and trying to gain more map control. He's even walling off the right hand side, which I like. This idea is quite good. Let's see if we can finish these walls. Going for archer on the right hand side as well. And now he's the one who is pushing here with the siege rams, getting rid of the barracks, getting rid of the walls maybe. There's trebuchets around to do what? Maybe attack some heavy scorpions? That's an option here. A lot of elite skirmishers. You can see Stefan resources okay-ish, except for gold maybe. And Feanor, let's find out. Feanor, a lot of food in the bank, good amount of gold in the bank, not so much wood, but he's looking alright. And he is trying to fight onagers against heavy scorpions, which makes sense, but there's only one onager here. And we don't have a lot of melee units here around for Stefan, pretty much none of them, and that's a big problem for him. The onagers can do a lot of damage, the heavy scorpions need to go back. There's elite eagle warriors clearing everything now. The slingers are not doing a lot of damage because there's not too many of them, and Feanor has a lot of resources in the bank. 55 minutes into the game, almost at least. Looks like the extra golds are getting mined out as well. But masonry of warnings coming up. We have 3 relics for Feanor, so he might have the gold advantage in the very long run. And he's got a good amount of army here now, going to attack that castle and try to get rid of all the siege workshops and barracks here. Try to regain control over this extra gold, which is really valuable now that first siege workshop is going down. On the other side, a few siege workshops up, but the castle went down here to 2 trebuchets. Nice effort from Stefan, getting rid of one of those castles. There's no more gold around, so maybe Feanor doesn't need the castle for too much more, but he still wants to go for elite plumed archers, I guess. There's a good amount of elite plumed archers and elite eagle warriors around. Those elite skirmishers don't have a lot of support here. Pikemen are really not doing anything. I think Stefan needs to go for standard infantry maybe, and maybe for his own onagers. Doing halberdiers, and I don't really understand Maya. I think he wants to have some melee units, some trash, some meat shield around, but that's not going to be the best idea ever. I think he needed to invest into champions maybe. He doesn't have the gold to do it, and that's a big problem for him. The maps, the golds were better for Feanor, sending in siege rams, but he's losing everything on the left hand side on the closer side to gold bases. Now there's 3 trebuchets starting to hit the siege workshops, or the artillery is actually going down. Killing or destroying military buildings is a very underrated point in the game, a very underrated process, because once you kill those, your opponent has to spend a lot of wood. That's one point, and he can't produce too much. Treadmill coming in, triple crane for Feanor as well. We are almost 1 hour in, and it looks like Feanor has a big army lead, actually not so much, but a big score lead, and here's the quality army against Stefan. A lot of trash, so actually I think we can speak of an army lead here. Army lead is going to chop that wood and trying to go into Stefan's base. Stefan is in a very tough position without gold. He is on 1k 2 stone. He could go for 2 more castles as the Incas, but doesn't really help because there's 3 trebuchets behind that. Onagers, the elite plumed archers, elite eagle warriors, a few traps behind. That's a really strong army composition, and the halberdiers are really not doing a lot. The elite skirmishers are trying to do some damage, a few single heavy scorpions around, but they are not going to be good enough to fight against this composition, and Stefan is calling the GG here. Very nice game, going back and forth, could have gone either way, but in the end, Feanor showing why he's getting better and better, also in the rating. He won this Meso Civ war with Mayans against Incas. Hope you enjoyed this one, another one coming up very soon. See you in the next games. GG.